Hi friends, I am Dr. Tarun Satija. I am a consultant physician and I have been practicing in city of Ludhiana for last 30 years. I am here to give you some tips on how to cope with COVID-19 epidemic which is presently being witnessed all over the world. Well, we are going through a very challenging time and our lives are changing as we move on. And because of this, I've noticed people are anxious, worried, lonely, bored, and sometimes confused about how their life is changing. Well, these emotions are a result of our body's reaction to stress, and different people will react in a different way. While some people will have the emotions mentioned above, while others will have worsening in their hypertension, diabetes, some will have appetite change, some will have changes in the sleep patterns, while others might just worry of getting this COVID infection. Therefore, it becomes very important to know how to face this COVID-19 epidemic. But before I go on to give you tips, I must assure you this phase is temporary and hopefully we shall overcome it soon. One of the things I've noticed in this period of lockdown is physical isolation, which we are being forced to have, is putting lot of problems in minds of people. People are angry, they are worried, and they don't want to be physically isolated from their relatives and friends. But remember, physical isolation is probably the only saving thing we can do to save ourselves. It is very important we remain physically isolated, because if we continue to be physically connected, probably the spread of this disease will be much more. But there is no reason why we should not be socially connected with each other. It is possible with phones, with video conferencing, and of course social media. Once we are socially connected, it will be easy for us to face this COVID-19 because we would feel stronger and we would have a lot of strength by being together. So it is important we connect with our friends, with the media I mentioned before. Another reason I would like you to be socially connected is, see, whenever we have a problem, if we share it with someone, then the problems or the worries decrease markedly. So if we are socially connected, we will be able to share our worries, our concerns, and we'll be less worried. So it is important we find a person whom we can trust, maybe a doctor, a family member, or perhaps a helpline where we can share our sorrows and misgivings. I just mentioned about sharing sorrows. There's another concept of sharing happiness. Now, what is that? See, most of us are fortunate enough to have a place to stay, have enough to eat, and have enough money. But there are many people in this world who don't have it. So one way is to take care of them by sharing what we have. And it has been seen in many studies throughout the world that whenever we share, our sharing happiness increases our happiness multifold. So please go ahead and share whatever you can with your unfortunate countrymen. I just mentioned that one should take care of others, but remember, more important is taking care of yourself. Your health is very important. If you're physically and mentally healthy, you will be able to withstand any infection, including COVID-19. But if you're not healthy, chances of falling prey to this disease and to its complications are very high. So how do you remain physically healthy? It's not very difficult. All you have to do is have a healthy lifestyle. This will build your immunity and make you less susceptible to infection and help you recover faster. So how do you do that? Simple. What you do is you have a healthy lifestyle in which you eat well, you sleep well, and you exercise, believe in God, and meditate. Another way you can be healthy physically is by having a routine in your life. During last few weeks, I've noticed most of us have no routine. What we do is we get up late in the morning, get up, eat, watch TV, and then go back to sleep. And this cycle continues for rest of the day. When we have this routine, there is actually nothing to look forward and nothing to do. So we tend to be sad. So it is better to have a physical routine every day. And what I would suggest is get up early in the morning, exercise, meditate, get ready. Now I want to emphasize on importance of getting ready. See, most of us during this lockdown period stay in our pajamas, night suits throughout the day. But this is not correct. It's not going to help us. What we should do is take a bath, wear good clothes, wear a good perfume, wear your lipsticks, mascaras, or makeup. Remember, these things are to make you happy and not just for making others happy. And once you're ready, you can face any challenge you're going to face in the rest of the day. And after getting ready, please don't go back to bed. What you should do is fix some time for a routine. Take out some time for listening to music, take up some time for reading, take up some time for helping out others, and at the end of the day, you'll be very happy because you've utilized the day very well. Another thing which troubles me is the addiction potential of this lockdown. Other day, I got a call from one of my patients, and when I asked him how he was doing, he said, "Doctor sir, ki karna hai? Apa shami bottle khol lene, holi holi khatam kar dene." Now, unfortunately, this is not an isolated incident. Most of us, or if not many of us, are doing this. And I believe some people who were not smoking or had left smoking have restarted, or people who were smoking have increased the quantity of cigarettes. Now, this is just part of how people are reacting to stress. Similarly, I believe people have started taking drugs. Now, these things may give you a temporary high, but in long run, is not going to be good for you. In fact, is going to be worse than COVID-19 epidemic. So I would suggest please stay away from addictions and you'll be healthier. Now, the most of the information we get in present day epidemic is from social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our favorite, WhatsApp. Unfortunately, most of the news which we get from these media are very sensational and tantalizing. You tend to hear them, and the next thing you do is raise up your hand, press on your on your phone, and forward it to someone else. Now, this may not be a good idea because many times these news, like I said, are just sensational and really have no value. And when you forward this news, you may be spreading unhappiness because news is not something to be happy about. Remember, even if the news is accurate, there is no point sending out messages which make people unhappy. So desist from doing it. And another important thing I must emphasize at this point is please find out whether the news you're forwarding is correct or not. And one way of doing is you must go to sites which give you proper news like WHO, government sites, or your trusted doctor, and just don't trust on what is being circulated on WhatsApp. Many people also believe people would not be so stressed up had it not been watching COVID-19 bulletins throughout the day. Well, whenever you was watching dismal news throughout the day, the brain gets bombarded with negative news, and as a result, a lot of negative emotions are generated, which make you feel unhappy and sad and frustrated. So my advice would be, as I do, I watch COVID-19 news only twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. This gives me enough news to make me know everything about COVID-19, plus I am a saner person at the end of the day, unlike had I been watching COVID-19 news throughout the day. In between, if you are interested in watching TV, you can watch a romantic movie or maybe watch a comedy serial or a comedy sitcom which you like. Another thing which I would like to emphasize now is please live in the present. Don't worry what is going to happen in the future. Many times we worry unnecessarily, and what we worry about usually doesn't happen. There's a phrase which I really love and I'd like to share with you. I quote, "Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That is why we call it the present." Yes, today is a gift from God. So one should enjoy it. And how to do that? It's very simple. I feel most of us have stopped living life. We have stopped listening to music, we've stopped reading books, we've stopped helping others, we've stopped enjoying ourselves through small things like taking a bath, taking a warm bath. This is because we don't have time in our busy schedule. So, what I would suggest is please make some time in this lockdown and enjoy what you used to enjoy doing before. This will make present much happier than you if you don't enjoy these things. Lastly, but not the least, I would request you to believe in God. It is very important to believe in God because if you think someone is taking care of you, you will be more secure and confident. I have seen in my clinical practice people who believe in God are able to face adverse circumstances, including illnesses and personal crises, much better if they think someone is taking care of them. So reconnect with God or connect with God and meditate and believe He's going to take care of you and you'll be in happier soul. Well, thank you. These are some of the things I wanted to tell you. I hope it has been informative and you'll benefit from it. I would just like to end now with a saying, this time shall soon pass. Thank you and God bless.